Hello, welcome to Spark Joy Astrology. I hope you're having a beautiful Thursday, June 15th so far. It is definitely a cosmic rumbling ocean out there today. We have a trine to Pluto from our moon later on this evening that is rather wonderful. It's a power play. But before we get there, friends, we have some challenge to work through. And this particular day is quite a special day because it is giving us intel on what we want to work to birth in with this new moon that comes in on the 17th on Saturday, or depending on your time zone, maybe early on Sunday morning. But we are definitely dealing with some challenge in the sky today. So let's dive in. We start with our moon making the first aspect as usual. She is the fastest moving luminary in the whole system. So she makes the most contacts every day, if you haven't realized this by watching my daily updates. But so the moon begins at 19 degrees in Taurus at midnight. And definitely go back 2 videos now. We've been talking about that flavor of the moon in Taurus. She does shift out of Taurus today and into Gemini. Late this evening, she will make it to 2 degrees of Gemini at 11:59. But when she starts her journey from this 19-degree point into this day, she quickly makes a conjunction to Uranus. Uranus is the planet of sudden shifts, change, evolution, revolution. So when our moon is conjuncted and blends with this energy, we can come into sudden emotional shifts. Impulsivity is definitely a part of this energy. Maybe some peculiar habits come out. Sudden changes in close relationships can definitely be part of that Uranian up level. So surprises by females, maybe a surprise visit by a female or group of females, because the moon definitely represents that feminine energy. So basically, though, what happened at 2:57 a.m. Mountain Standard Time when these two came together is that we may have found some emotional aha moment, maybe an inspiration, maybe a understanding of where we are emotionally that maybe came from like left field. So some shifts. And as the moon ventures further into Taurus, she will come all the way to 24 degrees before she makes her next aspect. And this is a minor aspect to the sun. The sun is in Gemini, and at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, they made a semi-sextile. So a 30-degree aspect angle is a minor aspect. They are blind, so it's a very subtle aspect. But when the moon and the sun are coming together in this semi-sextile, it is a subtle positive aspect. So there's this ability to work towards that balance, the yin and the yang within us, but as well as within our environment. In our emotional state, we're working with the moon, but we're also working with the sun and Gemini. So this is our analytical energy. Gemini is very much this air sign, which is all about how our intellect functions. So this ability to balance, and we need that balance, friends, because only 1 hour later and 5 minutes, so at 10:05 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, the big aspect of the day comes into play. This is the one aspect that does not include the moon. But it is Mercury in Gemini. Mercury is home in Gemini, so it can really express its intellectual self, squaring Saturn, the taskmaster, grandpa, telling us how to do life the right way, constrictive, restrictive, responsible energy. They are squaring, and this square lasts all the way exactly at 7 degrees until 8:25 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So Saturn can represent our workplace. It can represent our authority figures and our boss in our life. So when Mercury is squaring that, there can become some challenging energy when it comes to our bosses today or authority figures, or maybe with Mercury being, how things function. Like, oftentimes computers will break when Mercury is in retrograde or making a square to Saturn. There can be some restrictive energy when it comes to your workplace today, and as well as Saturn representing boundaries. There could be some restrictive boundaried energy around conversation. So definitely asking us to look at how we communicate. Do we need to make adjustments? Do we need to make some positives, add things, or take something out to really honor our discipline and the structure and our boundaries in our life? This could bring in some misunderstanding when it comes to communication, as well as misunderstanding in your own way of thinking. So negative thinking is definitely possible when Saturn, who brings in kind of these challenging, more depressing feelings, comes into play. But with Saturn being in a double-bodied sign of Pisces, this very spiritual energy, we have this great ability to access the water element and really work through the emotions to bring them into this relatively cold and analytical square. So, welcome in the heart energy, friends, because this particular aspect is definitely one where on the shadow side, there could be closed-mindedness, fearful thinking, expecting the very worst, and just constricting how you show up and communicate to others. So if you choose to go more into the balancing with the heart, you can really access and figure out what you need emotionally and mentally, what is blocking you. And this is a beautiful piece of fruit. When you have this is what on the new moon that you're going to work with to plant seeds around healing these aspects, right, that are blocking you. The best way that you can use this square is to learn something or teach something today. The energy around working through challenging problems is in the cosmos today. So definitely some good news with that. But do expect some constrictive, restrictive thinking. Maybe just take a few deep breaths today and just be easy with yourself, because this particular aspect is a challenging one. Don't push yourself too hard, and just try to sink into the heart as much as you can. Drop your mind into your heart. Maybe envision the beautiful color green to help soothe any tension that you feel from 10:05 to 8:25 when this is exact at 7 degrees. Okay, we move on at 3:19 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. The moon now sextiles Neptune. This is a beautiful aspect, friends. A sextile is a harmonious energy. And so with Neptune being this beautiful quality of spirituality and our emotional nature, we have heightened emotions and sensitivity. Energy is amplified, and this could be good or bad. So, working with that square energy, if you're staying in that head space rather than the heart space, you could really find yourself in a challenging place around 3:19 p.m. So choose the heart, go into that amplifying of the good energy, and you will definitely tune into this beautiful antenna of your intuition with this beautiful aspect. Moon, intuition, Neptune, intuition, sextile, harmonizing all of those octaves of intuition. So beautiful time to meditate. This is also a great time to take care of people. Charitable causes are really special with Neptune and the moon tied together with a sextile. So, if you're feeling constricted and restricted, maybe getting out and giving through the heart, serving others, is a beautiful way to break from that square challenge energy. Okay, then we move on. The moon continues, and this is my favorite aspect of the day. This has inspired my little black dress because the moon is trining Pluto. This happens at 7:36 p.m. I think this man in his loud truck is circling me right now. power play, right? This is for this transit. He's just showing us what this is all about, friends. This is awakening energy. When the moon trines, trine is by nature of Jupiter, so amplifying, benevolent, good energy. Trines Pluto, the transformative powerhouse that is Pluto. We have this ability to really awaken deep feelings and psychic perception. A powerful transformation is possible with this particular energy around emotional connections, as well as our own psychoanalysis of our own inner landscape. The deep, shadowy parts of ourselves are available when Pluto and the moon are working together in a trine, and we're able to look at those shadowy parts a little more easily, and heal some stuff, friends. We got Neptune, we're working with spiritual energy, so definitely an ability to look at that square and see what is blocking us, and now amplify into a power up, a level up, little black dress style. Okay, next we have our final movement of the moon. This happens at 7:45 p.m. and her connection to this time is actually an ingress, a movement into Gemini. So she moves into Gemini and changes the flavor of our emotional selves from being in this seeking stability and more into this let's communicate. Gemini is an air sign, it's a masculine sign. It is where our moon, or rather our sun and Juno have been traveling together, and this brings up a lot of themes around partnership. Our moon represents like our purpose and what we're experiencing on this life path, and with Juno right there blending together, that means that oftentimes the themes that we've been dealing with lately are partnership and commitment themes. So with Gemini moving into this house, or rather the moon moving into Gemini, we have this chance to really improve our mental capacities. We're more curious, more interactive with our environment. This is the twins that's represented by the twins. So this, kind of mischievous, playful energy. I like to call my son, who's a double Gemini, my Wile E. Coyote. There is this ability to kind of play off of one another and get a little playful. So definitely a fun energy, interactive and curious, wants to know a little bit about everything, so seeks a lot of new experiences and knowledge. So definitely a great time to now communicate all that we're learning, all that we're feeling. There's a lot of feeling energy right now that the moon moving into this sign. How are you feeling? Communicate it with those that you love, that you care about. They want to communicate back to you. So open the channels, and the heart-centered channels, friends. This is, again, our sun is right there with Juno in Gemini, and there is Mercury in Gemini, who is flavoring this ability to really communicate with our committed partners. And that includes people we work with, as well as people that we're in intimate partnership with. The moon and the sun are going to be right next to one another on Saturday/Sunday, depending on your time zone, when the Gemini new moon happens. And, this day is pretty big, friends. We'll get into it on the actual day, but Saturn will be going retrograde on this day as well. So the ability to really get into this mercurial energy with the new moon bringing in Mercury as a morning star. So Mercury is kind of becoming the star of the show. Mercury is an interesting energy. He is the wizard of the cosmos, androgynous by nature. So there's this, yin and yang ability within him. He can be either identify as feminine or masculine. And then you have, the sun in the sign of Gemini, which is the twins, this twin nature, and then Saturn being in Pisces, the duality of the fish and the double-bodied sign. There is this huge potential to stay stay in the mind and only be in that one fish chasing the other fish, or there's the potential to join the twins, join the balance of the Mercury energy into oneness, that androgynous energy, and then the Saturn fish to be able to swim in union, friends. It's all about balancing the heart and the mind. So breathing in balanced breaths today, an equal count inhale and an equal count exhale. Samavrita pranayama will be a beautiful breath for you to access on this day, especially when you run into some challenges with that Mercury square Saturn. Whew! All right, friends, I love you so much, and I just wish you have the most beautiful day, working through the challenges, learning what we need to plant as far as a new moon seed this weekend. So I will be back with you tomorrow. Have a great day. Mwah.